Hello everyone, in this video I will discuss about the 4 bar chain and its inversions. And I've already told you, to become a kinematic chain, the chain should mutually satisfy these two equations. First one is L equal to 2p minus 4, where L is the number of link and p is the total number of kinematic pair, and here L is the number of link and j is the total number of binary joints. So it should mutually satisfy these two equations to become a kinematic chain. So here this is a 3 link chain. To form a chain we need at least 3 links, and here in the this is a 3 link chain or a triangular chain. Here you can see the total number of kinematic pairs are 3. 1 2 forms one pair, 2 3 forms another pair, 3 1 forms another pair, and number of joints are also 1 2 and 3. So if we'll put these two values in the equation 1 and equation 2, we can get the equation 1 is the answer is 2 and equation 2 answer is 10 by 3. So equation 1 and 2 are not same, so this is not a kinematic chain. Similarly, for a pentagonal structure, pentagonal chain, here also number of kinematic pairs are 5 and total number of joints are 5. So this is not a kinematic chain because it also doesn't satisfy these two equations. Here you can see equation 1 answer is 6, equation 2 answer is 14 by 3. So these two are not equal, so this is also not a kinematic chain. But this is a 4 link chain. Here you can see total number of kinematic pair 1 2 1 pair, 2 3 1 pair, 3 4 1 pair, 4 1 another pair. So total number of kinematic pair 4, and total number of joints, this is one joint, second joint, third joint and fourth joint. Total number of joints are also 4. So if we'll put in equation 1 and 2, equation 1 answer is 4, equation 2 answer is 4, so both are equal. So this is a kinematic chain. So to get a constant or desired type of motion, we require at least 4 members, so or 4 links and 4 pairs. So this may be a turning pair or maybe a sliding pair. So first we will discuss about a 4 bar chain. So 4 bar chain, it consists of 4 turning pairs. So here this is the fixed link, it is and this is the second link, this is the third link, and this is the fourth link. The fixed link and this link forms one turning pair, the second link and third link forms another turning pair, the third link and fourth link forms another turning pair, and the fourth link turns about the fixed link, so it forms another turning pair. So there are 4 links and 4 turning pairs also. There are 4 joints. So this is a 4 bar chain. So the link which is able to rotate 360-degree, we call it as crank, and the link which is opposite to the crank, we call it as rocker or lever, and the link which connects between the crank and the rocker and will have oscillatory motion, that is known as connecting rod, and this is the fixed link. Here rocker cannot have, it is a turning pair, it will also rotate, but it cannot rotate 360-degree, but the crank will rotate or complete a 360-degree the crank will have a 360-degree revolution. So to get to achieve 360-degree revolution of one of the link, it should satisfy this law, Grashopp's law. According to Grashopp's law, the length of shortest and longest link should be less than the length of remaining 2 link, then only one link of the 4 link will be able to rotate 360-degree, otherwise none of the link will have 360-degree rotation. So to get 360-degree rotation of the crank, this 4 bar chain should satisfy the Grashopp's law, that is the length of shortest and longest link less than the length of remaining 2 link. And we all know by fixing one link of the kinematic chain we get a mechanism. So by fixing different links, suppose we will fix the crank, then we will get another mechanism. If we will fix the connecting rod, then we will get another mechanism. If we will fix the rocker or lever, then we will get another mechanism. So by fixing different links, we can get different mechanisms. So that is called inversion mechanism. So in a 4 bar chain, if the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed, that is this is the shortest link here. So if the link adjacent to the shortest link means this one or this one will be fixed, then that kind of mechanism is known as crank rocker mechanism. In this case, one link will complete 360 degree revolution, and one link will form a turning pair. It will rotate, but it will not complete 360 degree rotation. So one link will be crank and another will be rocker. If the shortest link will be fixed, then we call it as double crank mechanism. Here, if we will fix the shortest link, then the other two links will have 360 degree rotation. In that case, it is known as double crank mechanism. And if the link opposite to the shortest link, if this link, in this case, if this link will be fixed, then none of the link will have 360 degree rotation. So it will be a double rocker mechanism. So the link adjacent to the shortest link, if that is fixed, then it is known as crank rocker mechanism. If the shortest link is fixed, then it will be double crank mechanism, and the link opposite to the shortest link, if it is fixed, then it is known as double rocker mechanism. Here in this video you can see the link adjacent, this is the shortest link, and the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. So here the crank is rotating 360 degree, because of which the connecting rod, this green link is the connecting rod, so it is oscillating. So according to this, the rocker is also rotating. So this is a crank rocker mechanism. Here the crank is rotating 360 degree, and it will, this rocker, it doesn't have 360 degree rotation. In this video, if you will notice, the green link is fixed, and this yellow link is the connecting rod, and the other two links, they are able to rotate 360 degree. So both of them are behaving like a crank. So it is known as double crank mechanism. When the shortest link is fixed and when all are satisfying the Grashopp's law, in that case the two links are able to rotate 360 degree or behaving like a crank. In this video, if you will see, the blue link is the shortest link and the link opposite to the shortest link is fixed. So this is a double rocker mechanism. Here none of the link are able to rotate 360 degree. They are revolving, but they are not making the complete revolution or 360 degree rotation. So both the orange and the yellow link are behaving like a rocker. None of them are crank. So it is a double rocker mechanism. The crank rocker mechanism is observed in the beam engine. So here what happens, so this is the crank, this is the fixed link, the cylinder, and this is crank is attached to a point A about which it is rotating. So this is a fixed link, and this is a crank, AB is the crank, and it is rotating about point A, and BC is the connecting rod, and CD is the lever, and it is pivoted at the point D. And so this is all the turning pair, the fixed link, crank, connecting rod, and the lever. So they are attached to a piston or a reciprocating part. So basically it is used to convert the rotary motion into reciprocating motion. So what happens when this is the crank, suppose this is rotating, so when it will rotate, this will also oscillate, because of which, suppose it is rotating, then it is rotating like this, so this will oscillate about, this will move. So according to which the lever is fixed to a point D, so it will either move like this or like this according to the rotation. So because of which the piston rod is attached to the lever, so according to the movement of lever, the piston rod will move. So because of which the piston will reciprocate. So it is converting the rotary motion of crank into reciprocating motion of piston. So this is known as crank rocker mechanism. Here the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Next, coupling rod of locomotive. This is also the inversion of 4-bar mechanism. Here the this AC is a fixed link. Here this you can call it as axle of the locomotive. This is used to maintain the center distance between two wheels, and this is AB is one link and CD is one link, and BD is the connecting rod, which is or coupling rod, which is connected with between AB and ZCD. So here if one link, that is AB, will rotate 360 degree, then this CD will also rotate 360 degree, because both of them are rotating with the same angular speed as length of the AB and CD are same. So basically it is used to transfer the rotary motion of one wheel to the rotary motion of another wheel. So this is known as both are rotating 360 degree, so it is known as double crank mechanism. Next is the double rocker mechanism. Here uh, this OA and BC are two levers or rockers. They are attached to the fixed link. This has line, this is the fixed link. OA and BC are the levers and they are fixed to the point O and C, and BA is the link joining between connecting between two levers. So what happens, because of the mutual rotation of mutual oscillation or rotation of or movement of BC and OA, this link will move something like this. So the point D is a midpoint between between BA. So the D will because of the movement of BC and OA, the point D will move such a way that it will always try to lie in a straight line, and it will maintain this relation AD by DB equal to BC by OA. Basically it is the what mechanism is that here also none of the link are making 360 degrees, so it is a double rocker mechanism and it is found in the suspension system of automobiles. Here you can see the animation of beam engine. So between this point and this black point, the crank is fixed. We will rotate the crank about this handle, and this is a connecting rod and this is the lever. This yellow portion, this is the lever and this is the connecting rod. This blue link is the connecting rod, and here crank is fixed between this black point and this center point. So the crank will rotate about this. So and this is connected to this is a piston rod and this is the piston. This cylinder is the fixed link and this black point is the fixed point. So when the crank will rotate, in this case this lever is pivoted about this fixed point. So when the crank will rotate, in this case this will also, if it will move like this, this will also move, this connecting rod will also move. So because of which the lever will oscillate about the fixed point, about this fixed point. You can see here this it will oscillate about this fixed point. You can see here when the crank is rotating, because of which the lever is oscillating about this fixed point, because of which the piston is reciprocating. So it is converting the reciprocating motion, rotary motion into the reciprocating motion. Here you can see the coupling of locomotive. Here both the link are rotating 360 degree about this center point of wheel. So because of which the wheel is rotating, and it is transferring the rotary motion of one wheel to the rotary motion of other wheel. And this is the connecting rod, which is which is used to transfer the rotary motion of one wheel into the rotary motion of another wheel. So this is a double crank mechanism example. In this case you can see here the blue is the fixed link and the orange and the green link are the rockers. So when they are moving about these fixed points, so when they are moving, the link joining between two rockers, it is also moving, and the point, that center hole position you can see here, so it is moving in such a way that this point will always trying to remain in the straight line. So this is a double rocker mechanism. You can see its application in the automobile suspension system. So all these are about the inversion of 4 bar chain. So next we will discuss about the inversion of slider crank mechanism, where instead of all the 4 turning pairs, we will use sliding pair and turning pair. We will use the combination of sliding and turning pair to get desired kind of motion. So I hope now you are clear about the 4 bar chain and about its inversion.